Go ahead and take a bite. Vampire nails up next. Hello, my vampy little babies. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Gigi. Let's go ahead and start with a black background. We're just going to do all of them in black. And because I have been seeing so many people in my groups struggle with how to apply black polish, or gel polish rather, we're going to go over it real quick. So I like to paint the nail just like I would normally, right? Not too dry, because that can make it hard. But then I clean my brush off and I come back and I splay the brush out, pressing down, not too hard, right? You don't want to hit that plastic part, but so the bristles open wide and you can really squeegee off the extra polish. Especially with a polish like Master Black, you need that. You need to, because I have had wrinkling with many black polishes, and Master Black is definitely notorious for that. So please, please, please take an extra step. Guys, the wind is whipping in my neighborhood. So if you hear that, I do apologize, but I'm using my microphone. So hopefully the noise canceling is canceling that out. That was funny. I sounded like a news person. Anyways, again, come in, splaying it out, making sure you have the thinnest of thin coats. Even if you think you're doing a thin coat, if you don't come back and take some off, it's not thin enough. And if you're lucky enough to have a polish that doesn't wrinkle, it's because it doesn't have very much pigment. So you probably are doing, extra coats. And I have said it before, I'll say it again, 3 thins are better than 2 thicks. There you go. So let's take some of our 3D gel, because we're making a mouth. I had so much fun making that mouth a few weeks ago, the one with the tentacles, which, that's pretty unbeatable, right? But we're going to do Vampy today with a little tongue action. We're going to give her a little stud in her tongue as well. Oh, wow. Wow, that wind, you guys. There's no way you're not hearing that. As we shape out this lip, let me close my window, right? There's a sheltered corner in my front here where usually you don't get a lot of wind, but the direction of the wind, it's like sucking through that breezeway, I guess I'd call it. And it's really making my window shake. So there you go. So with my little silicone tool, we're just making the bottom lip. If you want to see how I made the other mouth, it's exactly the same way, except a little extra because of the tentacles, right? The tongue was much easier to achieve because there was less of it. But honestly, the tentacles weren't hard either. Of course, I will link that up in the little doobly-doo. If you're a vlog fighter, you know. If you know, you know. So we're just I'm just going to go ahead and say right now, there's one little part of the mouth that I feel like I screwed up, but it doesn't really show unless you're super being picky about it. So I'm not that worried about it. It's fine. And this is only the second one I've ever made. There you go. So we're smoothing everything out, making sure the sides are nice and tapered, right? You want everything to look as mouthy as possible. And it thins a little toward the sides, right, on most mouths. Not all mouths, but most, right? There's room for everybody to have the mouth they have. Then after we cure, I'm going to come in and put on her lipstick. And today's lipstick is this really pretty purple. It's sort of a pinky purple. And I really like it. It is supposed to be glow in the dark. It is not. There's ever so faintest amount of glow to it, but not enough that I can even reliably pick it up on camera. So I don't even know why I bothered to mention it, but I'm sorry, Born Pretty. I've been really loving your formula lately, but you did not hit it with the the glow in the dark aspect. And it doesn't matter how much you shake the bottle to get all of that glow in the darkness dispersed. There's the word, dispersed in the bottle. It doesn't. And I have had it under the lamp and then taken it in the dark bathroom. I've put it in the sun and taken it in the dark bathroom. And sure, you get ever so slight of a glow, but not enough that I would really call it glow in the dark. So it bums me out. Bums me out because I really wanted some glow in the dark for Halloween and I didn't get it. I didn't get it, guys. Right? But we're going to keep trying, see what we can come up with. If I can get a picture to show the glow in the dark, I will add it. But guys, I wouldn't hold your breath. I wouldn't hope for too much, right? Because I have tried. I have. So you do need to clean up a little, right? That purple doesn't show up on the black almost at all. But considering that it is glow in the dark, if somehow you got it to work, you wouldn't want it glowing on the black, right? You want that mouth popping. And it's already 3D, so it pops pretty hard, but the more clean it is, the more it's just going to pop off that black background. So now we're coming in with our tongue, and I just started with sort of a carrot shape, right? Instead of the tapered on both ends, I went just on the one because we're making it kind of a pointy tongue. You don't have to do that. You could do a rounded tongue, but I just thought we're a vampire, right? Pointy teeth, pointy tongue, right? And some people can make pointy tongues. I'm not that good at it, right? My tongue is round and it likes to be round, right? But some of us do have pointier tongues, and that's pretty badass. So now we're just shaping our tongue shape. We're making sure it's a little wider at the top and that we taper down into that point. And just making sure it's not too lumpy bumpy. Although honestly, we are going to top coat it. So any little bit of texture that's in there basically is going to disappear once you have that top coat on. So don't stress too much, but you also don't want to leave a ton of lines and ridges if you can help it, right? There's no sense beating yourself up over art. Art is practice. Art is fun. So now we're going to come in with just the tiniest bit of the clear. And what I'm going to use this for is just a little base to put the teeth on. Because if you put the teeth directly on the nail, they're sitting too far back in the mouth, right? So I just use this little platform that helps give me a place for the teeth to set on. I mean, you could just make really, really thick teeth, I suppose. But I worry with the white that maybe you would have trouble with it being cured all the way through on the inside, which is also why I use the clear on the lips, because the lips are pretty thick, and I was concerned if I used white like I did last time, that there would be a curing issue. I haven't cut that mouth open to see if there is a curing issue there, but I also have a lot more clear than I have white. So there you go. There's another reason. So now I'm just going to take a ball of white now that we've, wow, my tongue got tied. Okay. Guys, my tongue got tied. So now that we've cured our platform, we're just going to come in with a little ball of white, and I'm going to start pressing it out so we get the size of the teeth, and then pressing in the sides and mooshing it here and mooshing it there to make the shape of the teeth that I want, right? And once we get that, then we'll make the little center line to make, two individual teeth. You can just do individual teeth. I just thought that sounded incredibly tedious and that it would be hard to get them exactly right. And I just thought this gel lends itself to the technique I want to use, and I don't see any reason to make it harder on myself. I can't think of one reason to do that. So if you know a reason, hit me. Hit me with it. You know I want to hear about it. So now we're just using that flat part and making sure it's nice and pretty in the size and shape that we like. I'm going to struggle to get that out from between my fingers. And then we're going to do something else. There we go. I think I just put a little alcohol on it because it does help it smooth a little. Like it gives you that little slip, right? That helps everything smooth out a little bit. So you don't want to have too much on your tool, but a tiny bit, just a little bit of dampness can sometimes help you do what you're trying to do. And now with going back to that angled flat brush, we're going to use the edge of it to come in and mark where the teeth would be separate, would be individual, right? There we go. There we go. Looking good. Looking pretty good. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Right? You know what, guys? And honestly, let me tell you what. I futz a lot more than I show you. Okay? My editing, I think, is getting so much better with these videos. So now we're going to come back in with another tiny ball, and we're going to make a carrot shape again. I was actually out of frame, so I couldn't show the whole thing, but here we come with another little carrot shape. And then I'm going to just set it on there with my little tweezers and then start shaping it better, right? Because at first it doesn't look toothy, right? So we've got to use our little tool and smash it a little and push it a little and smoosh it a little and love it a little and smooth it a little. That's a lot of littles. So there we go. Sorry about that. Again, with a little alcohol on our tool. These tools are silicone, by the way. If you're going to work with this 3D stuff, buy a set of those. You're not going to regret it. They come in different shapes so that you can do different things. There's like a wedge. There's this angled wedge. There's that round one with the flat that I like a lot. There's also that cone shape that's really pointy, but round, so you can use it to sort of make roundings, like indentations. There you go. Or even to smooth things out. So you need them. One shape isn't going to get you all the things that you want. So definitely. And then I added a second fang. There you go. I just cut that one out because this video is going to be a little on the longer side. And so it's exactly the same process. There was no difference at all in how I did it. So I just thought we would err on the side of brevity. There you go. So now that I have the lip across the teeth the way I want it, you can do bigger or smaller. You can make your lip look the way you want. Here's where I'm going to tell you I made a bit of a boo-boo. On the top lip, if you're looking at the mouth, on the right-hand side, I smoothed it really well. On the left-hand side, not so much. It's not horrible, but it doesn't meet and connect with the other lip the way that it should. And you know what? That's a learning moment for me. That's all that is. You can't, I could spend the next 2 days thinking, oh my gosh, there's just no way. That was the worst thing. I shouldn't have put that video out. La, 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 la. No. We're not doing that to ourselves. So I see that I made a mistake. I understand the correction that needs to be made. And when I make another mouth, and I will keep that in mind so that I can improve my craft without beating myself up over it. So if you have a tendency to do that, please don't do that to yourself. There's literally no part of that that's going to help you. It's going to tear you down. It's going to destroy your confidence, and you're not going to get anything good out of it. So just put that down, put it to the side, and just do not worry about that. Just learn and keep going, because that's the only way you're going to get better. No matter what it is. I don't care if it's cooking or working out or riding a bike or raising your kids, and try really hard to do a good job with that. But when you make a mistake, and you're going to in anything, it can't be a beating up situation. I have no idea what I'm doing as I paused there. You know what? I bet I was watching something. I think I was probably watching old seasons of Project Runway. I just finished season 19, and it is amazing. Amazing. If you haven't watched the old seasons, they're all on Peacock, so check it out. If you have a Walmart Plus subscription, you get Peacock or Paramount Plus for free. So, and you can switch them back and forth. So there's a little tip. Not a commercial. I would not do a commercial for Walmart, of all places. Although they do have some cheap groceries sometimes, and Mama needs to save a dime. There you go. And which corporation is a good one? Can you point me one? That part. So we're just going to finish shaping here. If I sound a little different, it's because I had to take a break real quick to do something for my grandson. And during that break, I found out that an old friend of mine died. And, you know, the show must go on, but I'm a little sad. He's somebody that I knew when my kids were little, and his daughter and my youngest daughter basically grew up together, and they were friends probably into their second digits, but not too much after that. You know, kids go their separate ways over time, and that happens a lot, and it happened here. But there's just so many good memories with the two families, and he's not that much older than I am, so it seems sudden and sad, and I'm gonna take a little time to get over that, I think. So let me just breathe it out, right? There we go. And here, see, I'm not smoothing it good enough. This is what I was telling you earlier, and I think I did a good job. But when I come back to put her lipstick on, I realize that could have been better. That could have been better. But I think I did a good job. You know, I can feel myself thinking, oh, you're really getting this. And I am getting it. I just didn't get it perfectly, right? And that's okay. I'm human, and I can only get as close to perfect as I can, but I can keep striving, and that's what we do. That's what we do. So, oh goodness, my nose is, you know how it gets after you cry a little bit. Juicy. So we cured that, and then we are going to come in again with our lipstick, making sure our cleanup brush is handy. You could do this with a smaller brush. I didn't want to. I felt like my cleanup brush was going to do me right, and it did. So I do try to get it off the white right away, because, you know, white likes to grab colors. And I've not had that happen with this, but I didn't want it to. And I also did not want to have to paint the teeth. I feel like the color of the white was looking so good as the teeth that I just wanted it to be that, right? I just felt like it was doing its job. It was doing its job. So there was no reason to cover them up. Same thing with the tongue. Like, I did not add any polish to that. It's only going to be top coated. Only the lips got lipstick, right? Sorry for my sniffles. Oh my goodness. Anyone who's dealing with any level of grief at all, like this grief that I'm feeling, is shallow compared to other griefs that you can feel. So I'm sad, but you know, I won't be in bed for days or anything. So just a little sad. But I should have realized, see, I'm realizing right there, and you can see it, that I did a crappy job. But you know, I love myself and I love my practice and my journey in my nail art, and I love this mouth. That small mistake is not going to change that. So now that we have the mouth completed, but we are going to add one little thing once we get to top coat, let's go ahead and make a word. And this word is going to be a vamp, because we're making a vampire, right? The last time I did a vampire set, which was a couple years ago, and again, I'll put it up in the doobly, I called it a glampire set. I decided not to go glampire this time, just vampy, right? I should have put vampy, but I just put vamp. We have one more nail that's going to have a word, but I'm just going to let you, I'm not going to put it in the video. We'd be here for at least another 10 minutes. So, and 15 if I put the second gem nail. I'm not going to do that either, because it's exactly the same as the first gem nail. And I felt like it wasn't necessary. We did not need to reiterate. So on this first vamp, guys, I feel off my game now. I just do. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I also wanted to shout out somebody that sent me just the sweetest comment. Honestly, guys, I do not get a ton of comments. I wish I got more, because let's just rewind a minute. I got this lovely comment, and it hit at the right moment, because this last week, I didn't really post anything. I was feeling really lacking in motivation. And mostly the art itself is my motivation. I want to get good at nails, and I'm sharing my journey with you, because also editing and the whole creative process of video making, that's creative too. And I want to have creativity in my life. But I've had this channel for a really long time to only have 800 subscribers. So after a while, you start to feel like you suck, right? There's just no nice way to say that. You're just like, hey, I must really suck. But then I got this comment that I was like, somebody sees me. I felt like somebody saw me. And I'm going to share it with you guys. I'm going to put it up on the screen. And it not that my motivation needs to come from outside me, but it's just like, if you're a pop star and you sell out a show and you go to do your concert and it ends up being an empty stadium, but somehow you still have to put on that show, and it's got to be just as good as if 100,000 people were watching you. After a while, you just feel like you're screaming into the void, and that what you're doing isn't resonating or hitting, and you feel like you suck. And that's where I was. I was honestly, and it's not just last week, it's been coming on, where I feel like maybe this is the wrong road I should have been on for the last few years. Maybe I've just been wasting my time. Maybe YouTube is going to gatekeep success from me forever. I mean, I don't know why they would want to do that, because they make money when I make money. But you know why they'd want to do that? Because they still put ads on my videos, even though they don't pay me. Whew. So anyway, I don't want to sound like a complaining YouTuber, because usually those complaining YouTubers are making money off YouTube. I am not. So it's just hard to keep doing something that you hope will find an audience that doesn't. And sometimes that hurts my creativity. And last week, every time I started trying to do something, I couldn't make it happen. Like this video was shot. This set was done. And I was supposed to put it up last Tuesday. And I kept trying to edit it, and I just kept feeling defeated and dejected and sad and a little depressed. Here we are coming in. This is the second coat, guys. I'm just going to strengthen that white, right? And you could leave it white like this, but that's not what I'm going to do. I made a little boo-boo there, so tiny cleanup brush. Ah, look at that. Guys, I am always going to say it. Queen of cleanups over here. Sometimes my cleanup brush is what makes the art, right? You think you did a good job, and then you come in with your cleanup brush, and it's like, nah, there we go. Now I'm going to bring in this purple that is the same as the lipstick. I hope you're not hearing that window rattle. I listened back to some of the other recording. I don't know where all of that crackly is coming from. I'm assuming it's the wind. The microphone is usually pretty good. Usually my voiceovers are pretty good. But right now I think the wind is just kicking everything's butt. It might even kick my daughter's business from being profitable tonight, because we've got really bad winds coming tonight, and they're already here. Like, me and my grandson want to take a walk, but it's so windy, we would just be covered in dirt and breathing dirt. And I just, I'm not going to do that. I would be hitting my inhaler for the rest of the day, and that's not good. That's not something that you want to do. So we're just going to finish up our vamp here. And you can fill it in more than that, but there was just something about the way it looked that was making me happy. And I decided to leave it, right? You let me know in the comment section, if you want to. That was passive aggressive. I'm sorry. You guys. Anyway, I just like the way it looked. If you don't like it, fill yours in more. I am making another word on the ring finger, and that one is bite, which you're going to see in just a minute. And I did fill it in more on the bite because I just wanted everything to be not exactly the same, right? Just a little juxtaposition, a little something different. So it was amazing to me when I started looking through my gems. I had intended actually to do something else, but the purple I have doesn't match. It's more of a blue purple, and this is more of a pinky purple. So I happened to just have these two gems, and I was like, I put it next to the mouth. I was like, wow, that is a close match, guys. That is a super, super close match. So I'm just taking a little bit of gel, and we're going to run it around. And actually, I say a little bit. I'm taking far too much gel and running it around that gem. And then we're going to come in with some white nails, because everything so far has been white and purple. So I literally see no reason to change it. Like, we have white teeth and purple lips. We have white gems and purple gems. We have white lettering and purple lettering. So it just keeps it with the whole theme here. Where am I right now? Where even was I? That's what I get for not watching this video before I started the voiceover. I'm going to go ahead and say that's my bad, that you're going to get these like 15 seconds of nothing, of literally nothing. But here I go. I'm going to pick this up, and we're going to come in and add it to the nail. I'm probably not going to edit that out, guys. So clown me below. Go ahead and give it to me. It's the roast of Gigi time. So that first one, it looks messy, guys, and it is. It is. I have found when I'm doing a cluster that I just need to put on the gems I want and then start to make sure that they're right. Like, I'm realizing right here that what I was thinking wasn't going to work. These gems are a little too big. So I'm able to go ahead and come in and just straighten them out. Be careful when you have gems that stick out a little bit, because you can accidentally put the side gems under instead of on the side. So just watch out for that, because I know you saw me do it. And of course, this is another place where your cleanup brush should be handy, because once we get everything where we want it, we need to come back in, if you made a mess like I did, and clean up all that extraneous gel, because it's not going to look good. You need to clean it up. You will see it underneath your top coat. It won't look like anything. It'll just look like a bump. So you don't want that bump. You want everything to be beautiful. I almost said snatched, but I'm not sure that works. Let me know what you think about that. Here we go. Just a few more little tweaks until I'm happy. I'm starting to feel happy, and that's what I told you right there. Do you see all that extra gel? I'm going to take much more time cleaning it than I'm going to show you. So don't be afraid to spend some time cleaning up your mistakes, because they matter. Now, as far as top coat goes, guys, again, words. Wow, my tongue was tied. As far as top coat goes, I'm just going to show you the 3 nails that I showed you. And there you go. That's it. That's it. I think I got new neighbors, guys. The apartments I live in, it's a tiny complex. It's like, like 15 apartments, I think. Okay. And 4 of them have been empty for a minute. Well, 3 for a minute, 2 for a big minute, 1 for a little bit, and then another one, a neighbor got evicted. Which really made me sad. I didn't get to say goodbye to them. They were a nice young couple, pregnant, and that they got evicted makes me feel like things were rough for them, and I feel bad about that. But 2 of the apartments, the 2 that have been really empty for a long time, just got filled up this week, like literally both this week, last week rather. So it's weird to hear neighbor noise next to me all of a sudden, but one of them has a dog. So I'm really hoping that Jake and this dog are going to get along, because it sounds like a small dog. Jake's a small dog, right? So pretty excited about that. We'll see if there's anything to be excited about. Here comes our little pearl stud. And then we're going to come in with some top coat on our beautiful cluster nail. I'm really feeling the clusters right now. They're so classic and elegant and broachy. I love it. Now, when you do something on the tongue, make sure you come in and top coat it as well, because you don't want it popping off your nail and leaving a little rough spot. Or popping off your tongue, rather. Popping off your tongue. And let's go ahead and top coat our Vamp. And I'm just grabbing a little extra top coat because the Vamp is pretty raised up with all the coats, right? And so I want it to be a nice smooth nail. You can also put down a base coat. I decided not to, just for brevity's sake for myself, right? It took a long time to do this set. Let me look at my footage. Like 2.5 hours, right? So I was done by now. I was like, okay, I need a break. I need to walk away from this desk. Let's get this done and beautiful for my people. And here it is, people. See, like I said, the bite is in a lowercase, whereas Vamp is all caps. And it's gorgeous. I love the set so much, you guys. I think it's so campy and so in your face vampire, and so like the quirkiness of the mouth next to the broachiness of the clusters, and then you've got like a pop art situation with the words. I love this set. It's so fun, and I think the right girl would love to wear this, or guy. Lots of guys like to wear nails now, and I'm 100% here for that. But guys, thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I really do appreciate it. We are going to see you in the next one. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and leave me a comment. And hey, if you have any friends who like nails, or you're any groups that like nails, please share my stuff. Help me grow my audience, so we can just keep doing nails together for a really long time. See you in the next one. Bye-bye. You stinker. That's Liam. Say hi.
Hi.
See you next time.
Bye.
Just a little extra from the grandson. Bye-bye, guys.